was your favorite for the Atari system? I'm kind of tempted to try to find a used system at like a game store or something and play some of these games and see if my parents are as good at the games as they said that they were. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and go through all of these Atari games together. We are going to start off with the games in the Ziploc bag. So, I'm going to try to carefully, oh wait, this may, no, never mind. I thought it would make good sounds, but I'm scared it'll be too loud. There we go. So, we are just gonna go through one at a time. I don't know. Let's see. Here we go. We have the game Space Invaders, Space Invaders, Space Invaders. It says use with joystick controllers. So I guess did you connect it this way? I'm guessing so, because that looks to be the only way to play the game. But I have played Space Invaders before on like arcade systems. And then as a kid we had this like joystick game controller thing that you could plug in to the TV directly, and it had like 4 or 5 games, and I believe that one of them was Space Invaders. We can get some good tapping sounds from this. So that is the first game of Space Invaders. I'm going to just kind of stack them right here. We'll just go to the next game. Let's see. We have Skydiver. Skydiver. This looks to be like a military style game. Those look to be like army planes, maybe. I'm not sure though. This could just be a legit skydiving game, so if this is something that you have played, let me know what type of game it actually is in the comment section, because I have no idea. I'm just going based off of the pictures. So this was released in 1978. That is absolutely insane. That is about 20 years before I was born. 20 years before I was born. That's wild. It's 21 actually, 21 years. So that is crazy. Super, super, super crazy. So we have Skydiver as our next game. Let's keep this going. Let's go with, this is Telegames Auto Racing, and for this one you had to use the driving controllers. So I guess for the Atari there were different types of controllers. So you had the joystick and at least the driving. So there might be at least 2. This game was from 1977. 1977, and it just says race up at the top. That one didn't have anything, but it just says race. So it's just a normal racing game. Normal racing game. I'm very interested on if any of you have actually owned an Atari and have played these games before. We have, oh, this is the one I want my mom to play because she says she's so good at it. We have the Mrs. Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man. So we have the cute Pac-Man and then the ghost. also like to see her play them too. So, this would be a fan favorite in my parents' household. We have Miss Pac-Man. I wonder, like, if these will ever just, like, not work, if they're so old that they won't work anymore. Now, this is a basketball game because the tab right here says basketball. This one has been taped, so it must have been a highly played game. Again, for telegames, it is just normal basketball for 1 to 2 players. And this one also uses the joystick controllers. Now, I see Sears, and so I'm wondering if this specific brand of the games is like the Sears store, like, what is it? I don't know what type of store Sears, but like what category that is. But I wonder if that is their version of the games, if telegames is a Sears thing. So this is just normal basketball. Normal basketball. Let's see what else we have. We have Outlaw. The tab right here says Outlaw. So this is just, I think, a Western. It is called Outlaw. And you use the joystick controllers, and it just looks like a Western game. There's horses. They've got their little, like, Oregon Trail style right here. And then they have their guns and such. So it looks like it would just be like a Western movie, but in game form. What are the really big Westerns that, oh my gosh, my grandpa has watched so many of them, and I can't think of who like the character is for these Westerns. But this game also came out in 1978. So I wonder if this was based off of an actual, like, Western outlaw themed movie, kind of how they do games today, or if this was just like its own concept. But that's very interesting that the game is just called Outlaw. Alright, baseball. It just says baseball there. Oh, okay, yes, it is a Sears thing because it has that up there. So Sears brand telegames baseball with the joystick controllers from 1978. I would absolutely love to see what the graphics for this look like. I like the style of artwork on the front of these. You can tell that somebody took their time to really, like, I guess, paint that and then print it. I don't know. I don't recognize any of the players. I doubt they have, like, names and stuff attached to their jerseys. I bet they're just numbers, but I wonder who's in this game. I don't know much about baseball from 1978 on who the big hitters were and who you wanted to root for, so there is that. Let me slide these out just a little bit. And the last game in the bag, I don't know if they're supposed to be separate, so we mess any of these up because, like I said, they are not mine, so I want to make sure I'm taking really good care of her stuff. This is just normal street racer. I can see all these different types of cars, like vehicles, and then we have some motorcycles and mopeds on there too. Oh, and this uses the paddle controllers. So this is a new controller type we haven't seen. Saying this, it's been the driving controller and the joystick, unless the paddle is also considered the driving controller, which I'm not sure. So we have a new style of controller here. And this honestly could just be the drag racing game instead of that other one, because I mean they have the red light, and street racing typically is drag racing, so that is pretty cool. And like I said, I like the artwork on these because you can tell someone really took their time to come up with these. So, according to the top here, we have, oh, it's this way. We have video pinball with the joystick controllers. I enjoyed the pinball games. I miss whenever your computer would come with pinball already downloaded onto the system. I liked that. I think it was like Space Pinball or whatever. But I guess this was kind of like you could play actual pinball if you go to an arcade or to a bar. But this one is like maybe the first virtual version of a pinball game. So this one came out in 1981. I mean, that's pretty cool. The visuals are pretty cool. You're like at eye level with the pinball, so you can kind of see all of the different holes that it can fall into and the little paddles that shoot the ball forward, and you can go up and hit all of those, kind of like Blinko. So there is that game. Next, we have just regular Pac-Man. We had Miss Pac-Man earlier and regular. This one has seen better days. You can tell that the colors are fading, which granted this has been out since 1981, so this game has been around for a very, very long time. I have played regular Pac-Man as well. I would also, like, this would also be a game that I would want to play, like get the Atari system and see how well I would do in this version of it, because this is like the OG, the original. So let's see, yeah, 1981, and you have the ghost. I'm trying to figure out oh, that's his shoe. Okay, I thought it was something in his hand. I was kind of confused for a second. I didn't know what that was, but that is his shoe. So let's keep going here. We have Haunted House. Oh, wow. This also uses the joystick. I don't love the spider on the front cover. I've said in a previous video that I am absolutely terrified of spiders. I don't like it. And that seems to look like one of those ones that form out by my trash can outside, where they make those really elaborate webs, and then you're just like, you walk outside and this humongous spider is just sitting there in this web that has taken them all night to make. It's like a banana spider or whatever they're called, but that's what that looks like. Anyways, I'm sorry. So it looks like we have a bat, or at least 3 bats, but their bodies are forming this face. I wonder how scary this actually is. If this is like, I don't play a lot of scary games, so like Phasmophobia, or like I've watched the trailer for the new Resident Evil that just came out yesterday, and I would not be able to play it, so I honestly feel like this might scare me. I'm not a scary game person, so, but this is the first time I've seen a horror themed game I didn't know they made scary games for older systems. Make a new stack. Oh. Apparently she loved Pac-Man so much that she wanted to buy it a second time. So I'm trying to see, are they the exact same? Yes, they are the same. And about as equally as faded. So, our second Pac-Man game would spin. So that's kind of off topic, but we have bowling, and for our last game, something just fell in the kitchen. Our last game, oh, this is a unique game shape compared to the other ones. It is Frogger. I had this for my Game Boy. It is actually really fun. You're just trying to jump from log to log and just basically get as far as you can as things are moving side to side. And at least that's how it was on the Game Boy. This could be totally different, but I feel like they would be the same. So we have Frogger, and this came out. This was a Sega Enterprises game from 1982. 1982. Since this is a unique shape on the back, we're gonna get a couple extra sounds on this. So, this is our last game in the collection. It is Frogger. It did say it was made in Malaysia, so that is cool. Okay, so we can actually see kind of what the game, it just plugs in right there. But I wonder, you can't really see because of the case, but I mean, I guess it's the same. Unless this is like a legit Sega game, because I think that was another system. But, yeah. If there was a game that you played a whole lot on Atari that you did not see featured in this video, please let me know in the comment section down below. And, I will try to look that game up and see what it was. And if I do decide to get a used game system, I may do a video with that, but I'm not sure. Depends on how much they cost. I know they're not making any more anytime soon, so it just depends on how much the cost is. But if that is the case, then I will be playing some of these games. So thank you guys so very much for being here tonight, and for all of your continued support with all of the other videos. I do hope that you found these games very interesting to look at, and I hope that for some of you it brought back like a piece of your childhood, maybe some like fever dream style memories that you kind of forgot about. Who knows, you could have been really good at the bowling game and forgot about that, and then it all came rushing back whenever you saw me talking about that game. So I do hope that you enjoyed it. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already, so that way you don't miss out on any content just like this and other ASMR content as well. If you did enjoy the video, which I hope you did, please hit that like button. It really helps me out a lot to know which videos you guys are really interested in, so I can push out more content just like that. And comment down below which one of these games you found the most interesting. So, with all of that being said, again, thank you so much for being here. I hope that the rest of